Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, welcome to Grammar for Academic Purposes. Here I'm Mrs. Diaz. I would like to teach you this course of Grammar for Academic Purposes. Now we are in the third meeting of our class. And before starting, I would like you to go to this application, spada.kemdikbud.go.id. So please type this link and get into this application. Are you ready? Okay, let's get into the application, and our topic today is about adjective or relative clause. Okay class, are you ready for our third meeting? Our topic of discussion is about adjective clause or relative clause. By the way, what is relative clause or adjective clause? Could you please give me an example of it? I'll give you the example. The girl who looks sad is reading a book. So which shows adjective clause or relative clause? The adjective clause or relative clause is who looks sad. So here, this clause acts as a verb to explain the subject, and the subject is the girl. Let's see another example. I met the man who gave me free drink in a festival. So which one is the adjective clause or relative clause? Yes, the adjective clause or relative clause is who gave me free drink. So this clause acts as a verb to explain the man, because the man is as subject. Okay, everyone. So what is adjective clause or relative clause? Adjective clause or relative clause is a clause that cannot stand on its own. So it needs another clause to make a complete thought or sentence. Or it is also known as dependent clause. A sentence modifying, changing pronoun and noun in complex sentence, and of course needs relative pronouns. There are some relative pronouns such as who, whom, which, that, and whose. Who relates to people as subject, whom relates to people as object, which relates to animal and object, that relate to people, animal, and things. While whose refers to possession, and you may also use another such as when, where, and why. When relates to time, where relates to location, and why relates to reason. Now, I would like to explain one by one for the relative pronoun. The first is who. It's used for people as subject. I'll give you two clauses, please combine into one. The first is I met the man. And the second clause is the man gave me free drink in a festival. Can you combine into one clause? A complete clause of sentence. I met the man who gave me free drink in a festival. So which shows adjective clause or relative clause? Yeah, it's who gave me free drink. Okay, now the second is who. It's used for things as object. Example, there are two clauses. The first clause is the girl is so beautiful. And the second clause is I met her last night. So if you combine into one clause to make it a complete sentence or complete thought, it will be the girl whom I met last night is so beautiful. So which shows relative clause or adjective clause? Yes, whom I met last night. The third is about which, used for things. Example, The book is too expensive and I bought it 2 days ago. If you combine into one, it will be the book which I bought 2 days ago is too expensive. So which shows adjective clause or relative clause? Yes, which I bought 2 days ago. The fourth is that, used for things and people. Example, I like the bike. The second clause is my father gave it. If we combine into one clause, it will be I like the bike that my father gave. So which shows adjective clause or relative clause? Yeah? You were right. That my father gave is the adjective clause or relative clause. Now let's go to the fifth relative clause, that is whose. It's used to show possession, modifies people and things. Example, the first clause, my neighbor is hospitalized. And the second is her health condition is getting worse. So if we combine into a clause, it will be my neighbor whose health condition is getting worse is hospitalized. So which shows relative clause or adjective clause? Whose health condition is getting worse. Now let's learn about adjective clause or relative clause, especially defining clause or restrictive relative clause. It provides information that explains noun. For example, the boy who lent me an umbrella yesterday is more handsome than him. Okay, the first clause is the boy lent me an umbrella yesterday. And the second is the boy is more handsome than him. So if we combine into one, it will be the boy who lent me an umbrella yesterday is more handsome than him. So which shows relative clause or adjective clause? Yes, who lent me an umbrella yesterday. And for defining clause, you don't need to put 2 comma between the clause. Okay, now let's go to non-defining clause or non-restrictive. Example. Before example, I would like to explain. It provides additional information about object or subject. Now let's get into the example. My grandmother, comma, who is 90 years old this year, comma, lives in Bangkok with my aunt. So you see 2 comma between the clause, right? So where is the clause? Relative clause or adjective clause? Who is 90 years old this year? Okay, so if we break down the clause into 2 clauses, the first clause is my grandmother is 90 years old this year, and the second one is my grandmother lives in Bangkok with my aunt. So if we combine into one, becomes my grandmother, comma, who is 90 years old this year, comma, lives in Bangkok with my aunt. Okay class, this is the end of our topic of discussion about relative clause or adjective clause. Is there any question? If you have question, you can ask to me in this application Spada, or you can ask me directly or in group. Okay, students, thank you very much for our meeting today. Let's have another topic of discussion next meeting. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. See you.